This is it. We're rolling. This is episode 363 of No Laugh Track Podcast.
363.
363.
Okay, continue. Sorry to cut you off.
363.
Right.
That
Exciting.
was the voice. That is the voice of Mike E. Winfield. Me, I'm Justin Severson. I'm the lucky guy who gets to host this. We're here at Acme Comedy Company, Minneapolis. Obviously, it's their show. I'm here with the headliner, Mike E. Winfield.
The soothing sounds of Mike E. Winfield. I think I got radio voice. I think I could do like that late night on like Saturday night when no one else can get the shift, and it's like I think
all
I could
requests
do that.
with Mike.
Yeah, all requests.
Yeah.
Give me the sexy song.
Let's talk about that after I promote.
Yeah, let's
that
promote.
we're doing live video of the show now.
Wow.
So this is episode 3. It's 363 altogether of the show. Episode 3, if you want to look at it that way, of full video of No Laugh Track Podcast on YouTube. So if people want to subscribe, if they're watching now already, that's awesome. If they're just listening, you can do both now. You can listen and watch.
I got in from the ground floor.
You did.
Oh, man.
Yep.
It feels amazing.
So No Laugh Track Podcast is now on Acme Comedy Company's YouTube page. Please, if you can, subscribe. And here we are.
Hell yeah.
Now, I do want to continue with that. Have you ever had any, because there are comedians that have done radio, that have had radio gigs.
I used to do radio.
You did?
I was part of a morning show in Sacramento, and I was like the last leg, and I was like in and out. And
Were you in the studio with them?
I
or
was
like
in the studio.
Street boy.
And I wanted to do more. No, I was in the studio, but it was just how it worked. I just kind of I was not that interesting, to be honest.
I thought you were going to say interested.
No, interesting.
Okay.
Because
Call yourself out.
It was younger in comedy, and I didn't get it. I just, I would just be there and have a little to say here and there, but I didn't know like I know now. Like if you want to stir the pot, or if you want to, get things moving and move questions, I was just kind of observing. Mm-hmm. But I was there because I knew all the people, and it was like, green light, Mike, come in. And I had great days, but it's still like on a consistent level, I don't know. I'd have figured it out, but...
What kind of radio station? What does
it
it play?
was a hip-hop radio station.
Yeah.
And I'm familiar with hip-hop. I'm very familiar with that. But, as far as being a personality on air at the time, it was all new to me.
Okay.
As stand-up was. I was still trying to figure out stand-up.
Okay.
Not that I, am not now, but
right.
Things are different.
Yeah.
Time.
If you were given a radio show, and let's say the next weekend you don't have a stand-up schedule, they're like, all right, your show starts that Saturday night. What do you want to play?
What do I want to play in music?
Yeah.
As in music? Mm-hmm. Oh man, I want some nasty like hip hop. Like I like the hip hop. Really, I like anyone who is at a level of creativity that I can respect. That's what I respect the most. Whatever you're discussing, if it's creative, it has my attention. Because we've heard and seen everything before. Now, is if you can deliver it in a way I've never heard it, I'm intrigued.
Okay.
So, original artists. And everyone thinks they're original until you really point out that no, we've seen that.
Yeah.
We've seen this. And we've seen just about everything. But every once in a while, someone finds their lane.
Yep.
And that's what it's all about.
Yep.
Finding your lane.
How about Lizzo? You a fan of Lizzo?
No. Here's the thing.
Let's hear it.
Like a fan, I don't have thoughts in either direction. I don't hate her and I don't love her.
Uh-huh.
She's just out, and like trends, some come and go. Yeah.
Okay.
If there was ever an opportunity to work with her, I'm not gonna pass on the opportunity.
She's actually here right now.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I'm waiting for the Lizzo blowback. Like the inevitable blowback of being so popular right now.
Oh yeah, that comes with it, but we'll see.
Along those lines, Eddie Murphy hosts this weekend on SNL. Lizzo guest musical host.
Wow, they're going for the numbers. They're
right?
Going. Are you saying this coming up Saturday or
yes.
last weekend?
No, this coming up.
Oh yeah, they're going for they want to break records and numbers. Like I would tune in for Eddie.
Right.
And that's. Eddie's just fun. You just want to see what he's going to do next. Like, I feel like as comedians, we're really rooting for him and we want him to be successful. But man, he's picked a hard road to travel. Anyone who's been out the game, with the level of expectations that he has.
Right.
He's literally like if Michael Jordan decided he wants to come back now.
Now!
Right. And go
no one's
for
made that
titles.
analogy. That's good.
Like now, we're going to be like, man, we want you to drop your 30 PPGs. We want you to win this title. But it's just not, it's different. It takes work. It takes training. It takes a lot of factors he has a lot of those factors. He's lived more life. He has a lot of that. But man, comedy is not easy for those of us who do it.
Right.
Regularly.
Weekly. Have you heard anything about him going out to the clubs yet and practicing?
I have. And
you have?
Nothing like very spot on, like, oh, he was in this club. I just heard that is what has started or that's what he's doing. So that may or may not be true. I think like Judge Judy says, that's hearsay.
I saw a thing that all 10 of his children are in town for the live SNL this weekend.
I love it.
10 kids.
I love it.
Do you know how old his oldest is?
How old?
30.
There we go.
His youngest? 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, why stop if you can be he's been working, but not that much. Sounds like he's been around.
Mm-hmm.
If he could be a good parent, have as many children as you want.
Yeah.
Be fruitful, multiply. It's not like they won't be able to afford it.
Right.
So why not? I would have a ton of kids. I want to splatter some all across the world too. Have some Winfields with different Winfield personalities. Some that get the best of me. There'll be a few to get the worst.
There's no worst of Mikey Winfield.
Man, we're a spectrum.
That's for sure.
Yeah, it's a lot of, And I think for me, learning about myself is stellar. Growing up and really understanding how I feel about things, but the willingness to share them. Like even the darkness. It's like, this is great.
We talk about that a lot here, or you talk about that. You've mentioned that like almost every year you're here, about the growth. Get to know yourself better.
That's the success of comedy. Learning yourself in the world, and then it'll translate to the performance. I think once you understand, okay, this is how I feel about this. I'm allowed to hate this. I'm allowed to like this. That in itself is what creates the artist.
Yeah.
Versus just going out there like, and I think this is funny. Let me try to be funny. No, I root my stuff in, man, fuck it, I hate this shit. Or I like this. Mm-hmm. And this is wrong, but I feel this way. And I think that is the stuff that sticks with the people that come to the shows. There's some silly stuff I like doing because I'm silly every once in a while.
Yeah.
But the stuff that sticks, yeah.
Now, we need to talk about. So I was at the show last night.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing show, as funny as ever. I was here with my wife, and we brought 2 friends of ours that I brought along 2 weeks ago to come see Sean Patton, and now I think I've turned them into Acme regulars.
There we go. That's how it starts, the live show.
Uh-huh. So I have to say that before we even left here, like you were just finishing up your set, and my wife whispered to me, my face hurts, because she was laughing so hard.
Oh, man, that's
so congrats
amazing.
on that, Mike.
Well, thank you, yes.
That doesn't always happen.
Giving out face pain, that's a great show.
Face pain,
right.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for face pain?
Just embrace it.
Embrace it, yeah.
And know that it comes with a great memory.
It's well-earned and a great memory, especially last night.
Last night especially.
There was the audience. I said here, so I've been coming here obviously for years. I've seen hundreds of shows. This is the time of year where there ends up being some holiday parties.
Yeah.
Where there are people that aren't necessarily comedy club regulars. Maybe they've never been to a comedy club.
Right.
In fact, I overheard when you were glad-hatting people after the show, I heard somebody say, this is his first comedy show, right? Did I overhear that correctly?
I get that a lot,
right? You get that a lot.
Right.
Some people know how to behave in a comedy club setting.
Yeah, and
others don't. It just comes naturally.
I know.
And others, you need to follow someone else's lead.
It was very interesting because the people you're talking about did not follow no one's lead at all. And I get this. This is what I get. While I'm performing, people feel like I'm speaking to them directly. But the people with etiquette understand not to respond. Whereas this couple, mainly the guy, he wanted to reply to every single thing I brought up, everything. And I'm like, okay, how far do I let this go? You got both of your brains are speaking to you at once on stage. You got the one like, okay, deliver this joke. Then you got the other one that's like, okay, how are we going to handle this? And then his lady that he's with.
Have we said already? Let me just be clear. For the people watching this video right now,
these seats right here.
The seats right behind where you're sitting right
Yes.
now, where like he could put his feet up on the stage.
Front.
Maybe he was. I don't know.
Front and
but
near.
Front.
And his lady, man, that's with him, she's making noises that I haven't heard. And I'm like, is that laughter? I mean, it literally was like, and I'm like,
I don't know what that is.
And even though I brought it up, it was a conservative way I brought it up because I didn't know. Maybe she's mentally ill or something, and I didn't want to find that out later. Like, after you find out, it's no coming back once you insult someone who's mentally ill.
Right.
It takes a real clever response.
I'd be like, damn, Mike, you're on your own.
Yeah, right. That's when everyone leans back like, I don't know what he's going to do right now. And I don't know if that's in my bag to recover. So I decided, you know what, let's not like destroy that, whatever that is, But then he keeps going, and then it's like, oh man, at some point you have to address it. And this is after, Brandon, what's his name? James.
The feature act.
No, the
usher.
The usher. Kevin. I was going to say Kev.
Kevin the usher.
He's been up to this guy 3 or 4 times already.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, this guy wasn't getting it. And he wasn't so much an asshole. He was just someone who did not understand how it works in a comedy club.
I got the impression that he was more like, why aren't more people talking back?
Yes.
Right? Like,
that's exactly
I'm the only.
right.
But no. This is participation time.
But he's so close in the front, he can't see others' reaction.
Yep.
Whereas if he was somewhere in the back, he would notice others are not yelling at the stage, and he was so involved. So and when Kevin was like, "Man, you gotta go," and whatever he told to him, the guy looks at me and he was like, "Bro, can I stay, please?" Please, he goes, I promise. I'll be quiet. I was like, oh, heartstrings.
Yes.
Heartstrings.
Oh, man.
But
I want to help you, but you fucked up, man.
And I looked at everyone around him. They were disgusted. Their shows were ruined. They paid money. They wanted to enjoy this, but he was ruining their experience.
Temporarily.
Yes. For a period of time. And then, oh, man, as he's finally walking out, and I'm going to track back in a minute, he's walking out, and where you were sitting, you had to hear this. He's like, I love you, bro.
He's right next to me practically.
Whoa, no. It's like, how do I feel right now?
He's like basically saying, I'm still your boy.
Yeah, man, it all had this mixed emotions inside of me. It's like tough love.
Yeah,
yo, I got to kick you out. But, man, I know you didn't mean any harm. You just didn't know better.
I thought when you were he was still sitting there and you were going, and everybody is like in the same wavelength going, this guy's got to go. And you were saying, thank you for leaving. Thank you. And he hadn't left, but you were already thanking him for leaving.
Because my whole goal was that they hear what I'm telling where it becomes oh, okay.
It's real. I'm leaving.
Yeah, so I wanted to just put that energy out so it's not him thinking, oh, maybe I can stay. No.
Yeah.
Man, like I was having a great set up to that point. And not that it got better or worse, it was going well because I listened to the recording.
You did?
Yeah,
okay.
I listened to the recording of it this morning. And I was like, oh, man, it was fun. And then it got kind of sidetracked, which I even opened up the show by saying I like different things to happen. So I kind of asked for this in a way. And then, he goes. But, man, he was interesting, too, because he had his drink still before he left, And
that's right, I forgot.
And so I'm standing there as he's standing to leave, and he has a half a shot left and a quarter left of beer. And he's just like, I'm just going to drink it right here, not faster.
No.
I'm going to take my time and drink it as if I was still enjoying the show while I'm holding the mic staring at this guy. And I'm like, yo, this is what live moments are made of.
Yes.
This is worth the price of admission.
Without a doubt.
This is not your everyday show. And I think that's what happened, man. I got this little thing that I write my notes, not so much notes, but I write feelings.
Okay.
So what I write on this blank piece of paper and I put it in the room, I write brilliant. So after the show, if I reflect on that, people will feel that from me. I write things like clever. I write out the box so that I visually have that stored somewhere in my mind. And then what happens after the show, those are the responses I get from people. But it's like some type of thing I've channeled. It's like magic.
It's like self-fulfilling prophecy, right?
Yes, that's it. And man, look, I was alluding to it, but I can't go in depth because I can't articulate it the way I want to. But channeling higher power to really manifest things, I know how to do it. And you know, when we speak on the godly level, we always speak of it in the positive level. You can make anything happen, like bad stuff, great stuff, anything you want, like fantasies, desires. You can do this, and it's possible, and it's very interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
When did you start doing that?
Well, the thing is, I was trying it. Like, I tried it for like a couple years, and then it wasn't really the results. But then I realized how to get the results, and even that's hard to explain. But I started seeing the stuff happen.
Yeah.
I mean, even from like getting a special, even from now, my special has been seen by like some real eyes where it's about to be, you know, I'm meeting with writers now to make the television show for Statman. Like, this is like manifest, stuff is happening, but it's power of the mind. And I feel like one of those people in those self-help videos that I probably do, but I know that it works, and I just want to leave it at that, because I'm not here to like prophesize. I'm not here to
Tony Robbins me.
Yeah. I don't want like, oh man, I'm gonna start trying that. I don't want to like start this cult following of like stuff. It's just, that's what I've done, and it works.
Yeah.
Basically that.
Damn.
And it's powerful. And when I say powerful, I mean that sometimes I'll do things that have nothing to do with comedy or anything. I'll just like do it and make it happen, and yeah.
Damn.
Well, it's like,
I gotta ask one more thing about our buddy.
oh yeah,
last
no,
night.
I love talking about this guy, man. It was.
I want to know what. So when you eventually talked to Kevin, the usher.
Oh yeah.
And how did that? What was his perspective?
He was like, yeah, man. You know, because I told him that I should communicate better when I want someone gone. That was on me.
Okay.
You know, but it was so obvious that this guy was destroying the show and everything. But he was like, oh man, yeah, I think I like got him when I like touched him. And I was like, yeah, that gets people. Like not only saying you have to go, but when you like motion to like get out of here.
Yeah.
And the dude Kevin was like getting in his feelings, like getting a little angry too, and he's not a small guy.
Nope.
Like he's capable of like pain infliction.
I believe so.
Yeah, you could just tell. He's not. Yeah. So we just kind of had fun because we were hanging out at the t-shirt table afterwards. So we just kind of really laughed about it and moved on.
Okay.
And like understand like this is part of it sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just how it goes.
It reminds me, if you had a thing happen once. I remember watching the video where somebody fell asleep
in
one of your
man.
shows.
Right. And you know, it's funny when this is brought up because I feel this need to say that it was not my comedy. But if you look at the video, it's a guy who has on a work uniform.
Yeah.
And he is out almost dead center, front, middle, and you know, but it looked like he was on he just finished his third shift of the day since working from last night.
Yeah.
Never went home. Came straight
Just
to the
gonna close
show.
my eyes for a minute. Just a minute. Just 1 minute.
He's out. And yeah, man, that thing went viral quick on YouTube.
That was like 8 years ago.
Yeah, still on YouTube and still moving. And yeah, this guy was just gone. But my whole thing was like, don't make the guy feel terrible. You know, but I gotta talk about it. That's comedy 101.
Yeah.
You know, state the obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And he was done. Like to the point where I'm like, yo, let's check on him.
Yeah.
And make sure, you know.
Check for a heartbeat.
Let's make sure, yeah, he's still with us.
When people get tossed out of a show like that, it occurred to me last night. You think did a tab get paid?
Great question that I don't know. You got to consult management on that one. You know.
You check before you throw them out. That's the official word for the club.
Oh, okay, great. They check first. I just know how he felt. So one of the managers, Hannah, after they walked out the door, I had said how he feels, and she heard that as she came back in the room, and she was like, that's exactly what he said. Because his theory was like, I mean, what happened? I was just enjoying the show, and I get kicked out for laughing.
Yeah.
Kicked
out for laughing.
Kicked out for laughing. Yeah.
Comedy clubs ought to sell a T-shirt that says that. Kicked out for laughing.
I know. That should.
Right?
That should be somewhere. Right.
So I listened back to the last time you were here, which was Halloween week of last year.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh, what's
Which I totally forgot. We were trying to figure out what we did on Halloween last year.
Yeah.
We came to your show.
Wow.
But until I listened back, I totally forgot that that's what we did on Halloween.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Yes. And so this was interesting. I got offered a special from Amazon Prime last year before, around that time. And I had just found out like a week prior. So I had pretty much 3 weeks to get ready to put together an hour.
Okay.
And I didn't want to overlap the one that I self-produced. So it was like, oh man, go to work.
Yeah.
And that was around the time when it just happened.
Okay.
It's like, okay, let's figure this out.
Pretty much the last thing you said to me on that recording was something about the podcast coming or not podcast. We did mention that.
Yeah.
The special.
Man.
We'll get to that.
I feel terrible about that. Let me look at this. Oh no, I got to look at something. I got to check something.
Right. But one of the last things you say to me is about the special. Like, we're going to have a special in the next year. And now it's there. It happened. You were right.
Look at that.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's when I was just revving up on my mental control of things.
Okay. Okay. Had it been recorded by that time? No. So when did you record the special that is now on Amazon Prime called Stepman?
First week of I think it was the first week of December.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like that first week, and I was like in the process of something with NBC at the time too, which was great. It was like this competition that I won, and that was going on at the same time. And it was like, all right, piece these thoughts together. I even called on comics to look at it, to see how it would be received from minds that I trust, And it was certain things that, okay, let's make a decision. Well, I had to make the decision, do I want this in? Do I want that in? Because, sexual assault, was at a very high peak. And sometimes I talk about stuff that happens, and jokes that I've dealt with and things. And it was like, okay, and a couple jokes I just took out because sometimes it's not even fully developed.
Okay.
That's the thing about these damn jokes. They'll be great, but you'll still know it just needs something else. And they grow with time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like children. They just grow.
So
some of them become great, and some of them become they could ruin the world.
You got any of those killers out there?
Oh man, that's my whole thing. I want something no one's heard. That's the whole process for me. Because again, like I said earlier, we've heard everything.
The hour, you probably did close to an hour last night.
Yes, but it was extended a little longer for a reason.
Yeah.
I think it ended up, to be honest, being an hour 10.
I think so.
But that's because we had, some things.
I had to go home. I don't know if you know, not only does Eddie Murphy have a 1-year-old, I have a less than 1-year-old.
Wow.
I've had a baby born since last time we hung out.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Changing the world.
That's right. So it's not always easy for me to get out of the house to come see shows. But I had to I had to explain to my babysitter last night, my mom.
Oh, no.
I was like, whoa, it's 25 minutes later than we told you because there was a bit of an interruption at the show.
Yes, there was. That needed to be addressed. If I wouldn't have...
That guy's lucky I don't pay my babysitter by the hour.
Right.
And that would have added more time.
We should be getting money from him for the babysitters.
Come on.
Right. But it's funny, after that all happened, it was my comedian duty to speak on it. Because there's no way to just go back into content and ignore what just happened. It
would have been impossible to ignore that.
I believe
you did an amazing job. When they were escorted out of the room and that door closed, and you were like, man, like just the relief in the room.
Man,
it was like, oh,
I know.
But that, I mean, you got to
weight was
feel like then
lifted.
everybody's on your side. Like,
No, everyone.
if they weren't before, they were 1,000% after.
They really
that,
were.
right?
You know, man, I get good show every once in a while. Good show. But you could feel it last night where, like, there were hugs. There were people pulling me in.
See?
They were just like, it was a different level. It was like we went through something together.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went through a moment. And those are bigger than shows. And I think that's what the live show is about. You know, if that happens on television and special, you're like, oh, that was manifested. They put that there for TV. They just kind of did that. But no, this was real.
We were here for one of Ian Baggs' shows in the last couple of years.
Oh, man. So his shows are like that pretty frequently and regularly.
He said something
Excuse me, too. Keep going.
Sure.
Right.
He said something that triggered a audience member, and she tried to get up on stage and take the mic from him.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, and was accusing him of all different isms. And that's the craziest night I think I've ever seen. Yours is now second.
Yeah. It's probably best if I don't top what happened. If it goes there, that's great. And about that level is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've had people want to fight me before. I'm like, I've had to tell people, like, who would want to fight me? You know, that's what I tell violent people. That's what I think. I'm like, do you know? Look at this calm.
Yeah.
You want to do that? That's my way of talking myself out of like physical danger. Me?
No, not me. We're friends. We're gonna be friends forever.
I'm kind.
Friends forever. Like I was just gonna say, I took little notes.
Okay,
last night.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, let's do that.
And it's funny because you had just said something like commented all the moms in here. You're like, all the moms in
I'm
here.
into that.
And then immediately, boom, dude's foot. The guy in front. And you were like, said something like, I'll wait until you're done.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, man.
You tried
that's
your
the
best.
Thing. I was like, you know what? I wanted to allow them the chance to be done with this, so I don't, because I can't move on.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to just like so much just annihilate. I like to give people the opportunity to compose themselves, but I also got to do what's best for the show. So when I just decided to just kind of go in and really just keep going, it was because that's what the show needed. It's all about the show. The show comes first.
You said that code sometimes is give them a glass of water.
Oh man, don't even put that out there like that.
No.
Hey, you know what?
Come up with new code.
Yeah, you know, man. The thing is, it's just some unwritten rules in comedy, and I can't really break all the like.
No,
things.
we don't.
Even though I said it in front of the live audience, you know, it is fun. It's just things you got to do to. Instead, sometimes if you like, get this guy out of here, it can get more, confrontational.
Sure.
But if there's a subtle way to just make it happen,
and let me tell you,
that's the approach.
Let me tell you, Mike, people listening to this podcast aren't the ones that are getting escorted out of comedy clubs.
Yeah.
They're different people.
Okay, great.
So
great.
we actually can say that here. And it's
great.
It's just knowledge for people that aren't going to use it.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be like destroyed amongst other comedians. Like, we can't believe you told them. I don't think that'll happen.
Gonna take your card away, comedy card.
Right.
Gonna take your comedy card away. So,
but that's so last resort for me.
Sure.
Because, you know, like it makes for moments, but it was just kind of like this guy needed to go. He just did.
Yeah.
And the lady, she needed to go too.
Mm-hmm.
She was terrible as well.
I years ago, before I was ever doing the podcast here, and I was just a guy coming to shows. I was here on a date. I've said this on the podcast before. I'll make it really fast. But I was here on a date. This is between my first wife and second and final wife that I was now.
Second, no, that's second one. That's the one.
Did you see me raise my hand when you asked the crowd? I don't know if you did.
I didn't, but that's great. Yeah. We all know.
So in between those relationships, I was dating someone that I brought here to a show, and she did the thing where she thought that the performer was talking directly to her. Not everyone. So she started replying. She was drunk, and it got super uncomfortable, and she didn't get escorted out. She left on her own after being called out from the performer on stage. I stayed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Power move.
I stayed. Yeah.
That's an ultimate power move.
Uh-huh.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
That's
like
do not regret that.
in real life and television when like the one person runs out the room. If you don't chase them, it's big. Mm-hmm. It's a big move.
Yeah, she left the premises without me. She was drunk, got in her vehicle, drove down the street the wrong way.
How tragic does this end?
I'm biting my tongue, Mike, to what I really want to say about that. She drove the wrong way down a one-way just a few blocks from here.
My.
Got pulled over, got stopped.
Thank God.
And the cops straightened her out, and she came back here and picked me up when the show was done.
Really?
Yeah.
I want that type of privilege in life.
Yeah, right? I don't know how that happened.
She drunk drove.
I don't know how
down
that happened.
a one-way street, and they were like, you know what?
Yeah.
Go back to the comedy club.
Well, she was black. Did I say that?
Go get her.
You know she wasn't black.
Oh, wow. Life is good.
Yeah, I don't know how she got away with that, but that did happen. So now I need to find out what happened. One of the things the other thing you talked about last time is starting your own podcast.
Man,
I have not seen that posted anywhere online.
I know, and I made a promise.
Are you just saving them somewhere?
I made a promise. Yeah.
Where are they?
Here's the thing. I got such amazing equipment. And you know who's on my back every day? She's like, I can't believe you spent all that money and you're not putting it out.
Oh, no.
Blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, that.
How's it going?
Here's the thing. I'm so ready. I even have the angle. I know what I want to discuss. Like I said on stage, I know who I am now. I want to really dig into love and lust and relationships and life, and I know it. It's just, I'm making excuses, really. I've been extremely busy, but that's no excuse. A lot of people are extremely busy.
Mm-hmm.
I've been here trying to, getting closer to this TV show. A lot of people have TV shows, It's just me making excuses, and I need to just begin.
Yeah?
Start it. Yeah.
Just excuses.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm an asshole for that. That's why. Because, I just know. It's like, sometimes I feel like I'm not giving my audience what they want. Sometimes I'm too self-serving. I'm just feeding my soul with shows and writing every day.
Okay.
And just making myself happy.
Like I said, when the special came out in August and you had a couple of these videos with the real Stepman on your Instagram.
People
Great
love
stuff.
Those. Yeah, I know. I just need to post more.
Post more.
Yeah, and it's so easy to just pick up the phone and record with Stepman because he's like, I want to be on it. He wants to be out there anyway. And, we have such fun interactions. Yeah, and you know what? Did we talk about that? Whatever review from the Nurture website, did we talk about
on the podcast here? No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if we even talked about it at all, but okay. That was it on that.
Oh,
all right.
All right.
I don't have none. Right.
Okay.
All right.
So where is a possible TV Stepman TV show? How are you?
Well,
you've had an idea for it.
The thing is, we're discussing network. So we're going to pitch the network, and now we're just kind of tightening up specifics, which comes with character details and how you want the storyline. And when you do the storyline, you got to prep it for 5 years. What's the immediate journey, what's the long-term journey, and you got to kind of put things out there like that so they know what they're buying.
Wow.
Yeah, and the object of the game is not only to continue going, but to have famous friends. And I can't say that I really have any, but if you keep going during the course of it, they might come upon your work somehow, and you never know what's possible unless you're putting in the work yourself.
Sure, that's
so
very
don't
true.
stop.
Yeah.
Just stay creative. Yeah.
How about last time you were here, there were some movies that you had filmed. Did you do any more
Right. So
movies
one
this
is
year?
out. Another out is called Satanic Panic. I didn't answer your question. So have I recorded any this year? Well, when did I record Ballbusters?
I think you talked about the year before. That's not out yet, right?
Right. I believe it is out.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere. But no. You know what? I just found out a distribution company. If I looked it up in my text, I would know it's somewhere big that is going to put out Ballbusters, and that's such a man, just out of bounds movie. It's just
That's with Jerry O'Connell,
yes,
right?
it's really out there. My cameo in Satanic Panic is so funny. When people see that, they're like, I had no idea you would even be in this movie.
Really?
And I'm like in acting classes, so now I'm like, man, I don't want to do it. But opportunities are just jumping and just kind of going. I've been busy.
I saw you were in, you did Vegas a week or so,
Vegas
a couple
was
weeks
exciting,
ago.
yeah.
How were they doing? I saw Dean Edwards was working.
Yeah,
too.
Dean Edwards. Yeah, it was such a fun week, and it's very rare when you're working with other headliners.
Yeah.
So
how did that work?
Week, it was great. It was like we're at the Cellar. So the Cellar is like showcase style. So what we're doing is like we dropping like 20 minutes a piece, me and like 4 other comedians at high levels. So the crowd is not only getting like a super show, but you get to hang out with guys you don't typically get to hang out with.
Yeah.
Which is fun. It's just like, okay, I get to do stand-up and enjoy, guys that you might have, they all had been doing it longer than me. Everyone on the show. So for me, I'm like, okay, I get to soak up some game.
Yeah, Dean's great.
Yeah, I get to, see what this is all about. So it was fun. I had a great week.
Okay. He does, a lot of impressions. People
Right.
probably know that. He's been on this podcast a couple times.
He wasn't doing them on the show. He just, and maybe because we only have like 20 minutes.
Oh, he's just doing
he was
jokes?
Just doing jokes.
No kidding.
Which was great. It was entertaining, but man, like, it's funny just having a conversation with him. He's lightweight doing Denzel while you're talking to him.
I know.
Just like, hey man, wait, is this you or is this, and you're just waiting for it to just come out.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Have you ever tried an impression on stage?
I just do impressions of people you would never know. Like I'll do an impression of the barista, stepman, my wife,
right.
the guy that was driving the bus that was giving me issues. Like I'll do impressions, and you have to believe that the person's like that because there's nothing to compare it to.
Yeah.
So I kind of just see it in my head, and I think that's where my act outs on stage are coming from. It's literally like I can visualize the truth.
Yeah.
And that's where the jokes are. They're just things that happen, and I'm like, this is how it went. This is how I saw it.
Now, as far as performing goes, we talked about movies and acting and stuff. Just last night, I was here, you were here, neither of us watched it, but they did another one of those live in front of a studio audience, All in the Family and Good Times on ABC last night.
Right. So I'm where am I yesterday? I'm somewhere, and a guy's like, I can't believe you didn't get an audition. And man, I'm a super Jay Farrell fan. But
for JJ?
Yeah, I didn't get an audition for the guy that they were saying that I remind him of my entire career. Not even an audition. But it's all good because I know he's going to kill it because he does impressions. So, as long as you can respect the person that's doing it, you don't have to live with inner hatred. Yeah. That's what it's about.
But you'd be interested in doing something like that? Live television?
Well, one of the things that I did this show called Conversations in LA. It was like a one-take show. I was nominated for an Emmy for it off the performance, and it was one take. So we did a 18-minute long scene, and that's where I got the nomination. I'm all aboard. I'm all for it. I just want to, I'm an entertainer. I just like being in front of, whether it's crowd or cameras, something I love to do.
Yeah.
And I still love it. It's not like I love it less now. And it's even more fun as of late because you're just digging out more things inside, more like how I feel and just life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Getting older, like just that in general is like you're more apt to just say what you want to say because you're like, hey man, maybe I won't be here longer. Let me just get all this out.
Get this on record.
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
Say it.
Do you remember last time you were here? I brought up. It's the thing I do where I'll look up a story from somebody's hometown. So for you, Baltimore.
Yes.
Last time I brought up a story about, it was actually kind of a little sad. Like one of these squeegee kids.
If it came from Baltimore, it was probably sad.
One of these squeegee boys.
We need some good news from Baltimore.
That run around cleaning off windows had been hit by a car, and I was asking you about the squeegee boys.
Oh, yeah.
The 3 decades of kids running around with squeegees. Cleaning off. So I have some new ones
Okay.
today.
Let's talk about it.
So it's the holiday season, of course.
Mm-hmm.
All the packages, people buy stuff from Amazon, Target, everywhere. It gets delivered. Now,
Oh no.
there's a phenomenon across the country where people get their packages stolen from their front
Right.
porch or for like the front steps because they
That's
just
the
get
new
shit
thing.
dropped off. Yeah, like people will follow around, like a couple days after Black Friday, they'll follow around the FedEx truck and just
Yeah.
freaking collect all the packages. In Baltimore, someone took it a step farther. Do you know what happened?
Tell me about it.
The whole Amazon delivery truck
They
was
took the
stolen.
truck.
Yes.
Represent Baltimore. Yeah, man, we don't do things small. If you're going to do it, do it. Forget a doorstep package. I want the truck. Yeah, man, that's on.
Does that surprise you?
That's on another level, and man, but that's the thing, man. I've always known about Baltimore. It's like an original place. They have their own distinct style. They have their own music. It's kind of like a town is reflective of originality, but other people looking at the town like, yo, you're different, or you're weird, or you're this. It's one of those places, but no, I'm not shocked. I'm really not.
They found the van. Driver was uninjured. So
No.
everything's
okay. Oh, hey,
And they
great.
don't know how many packages were taken at this point.
That's so weird too, to just steal boxes. Like, you have no idea what's in it. Like, you
None.
might have a box full of socks, and you're like, all right.
Yeah.
Or maybe it all has street value. Maybe they're just selling it somewhere and reselling it. Isn't that
Well,
what people
somebody
would
was just
do?
telling me the other day they have these machines around town where like you can go and deposit a cell phone and get money automatically, like immediately.
Oh, wow. And we're in the future.
Right?
We're definitely in the future right now.
So I got another Baltimore story here.
Yeah.
Are you following the? This really has nothing to do with it, but are you following the Ravens' awesome year?
Yeah. I'm not heavy football, but I've been turned off from it, but proceed with the story.
Okay. Lamar Jackson, he's
Yeah.
incredible. This also has nothing to do with him. I'm just throwing out names.
Okay,
But what
yeah.
happened was, I know. Why did I even say that? Did you hear about this then? There was something happened outside the stadium this past weekend in Baltimore. Let's see. Where do I start here? People are talking about Lamar Jackson, but what isn't being talked about as much is that multiple people have died in porta potty related deaths outside Ravens Stadium this year. What? Baltimore, there's my phone. Baltimore police announced the other day that a body was found in one of the portable toilets in a parking lot stadium. Someone found the body outside the Ravens Stadium, called police around 2 p.m. this past Sunday. They didn't even have a game that day. They played New York inside Baltimore Ravens Stadium last Thursday. This Sunday, that incident marks the second time this year someone died at a porta potty related death at that stadium. In February, a man died in the portable toilet fire in the parking lot. The man was seen running from it, engulfed in flames before collapsing. What the hell is happening
That's
at portable toilets outside your football stadium?
It's really sick. So we're not talking murders. We're talking about
Strange accidents.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on?
I want to have some form of explanation about this, and I don't know what I could even conjure up or imagine.
It's still
Someone running on fire. That blue stuff is flammable, though. That blue stuff in the toilets.
I would imagine so.
It has to be flammable, and I know that. And man, those things are disgusting anyway. Shit by the car.
What?
Pee behind it. Like those things are grimy, germ-infested spots. Like, the fact that they still have those is just some company trying to stay alive. I think there's a better solution. Like, dig a hole and just have people pee and shit in a hole somewhere behind the stadium instead of porta potties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
I
what's
don't
going on there.
I don't know. I mean,
Very strange.
You need McNulty. You need from The Wire.
There you go.
You need to. We need to do some more investigation and really get to the bottom of something so
Very strange
gruesome.
there. Yeah, very strange. You had a lot of attention yesterday after the show. Obviously, people come to talk to you about what they saw inside here. But also, I'm looking at some little merch there on the table.
Oh, yeah, right.
For the people watching video here, show.
I will.
Let's talk about the T-shirt and what it looks like.
So, like, one of my family elements is that, I'm the moms or older women, and that's been the case. It hasn't changed. It's like, whatever reason, that's what I'm still getting, like, I need psychiatry about. I just want to understand it more, But, yeah, my wife being older, my stepson and I are close in age, so I call him Stepman. So Stepman is just living his own life. He needs a lot of guidance, And before I would joke about him here and there and that, but no one ever, they haven't seen him. So I decided it's time for me to help others connect the dots.
Yeah.
See and show that this is real. Like, I think people value comedy, if it's funny, if it's talented, that's one thing. But if it's real, that's another level of connection. So me and Statman take pictures all the time. So we took one and I was like, I'm putting it on the shirt, and that's what I did. Let me grab it.
Yeah.
Oh. So this shirt is myself in the real Stepman.
Yeah.
And I tell people, they think I'm joking about close in age and all that. And so when people see it, their reaction is like, wow, he's old. And he's not as old as he appears, He's just not living the healthiest existence. I think.
How does he feel with that description?
We tell him, no, man, like, our house is blunt. We are straightforward. We will laugh in each other's faces and we'll pick each other up, but we joke a lot.
Yeah, good.
So it stays real and raw. And we're like, dude, you got to do better. You got to eat healthier. Stop eating this trash and, sleep. Do something. You're just not, you could do better.
Yeah.
And so we remind him and we help. When he's with us, he's going to, get what we offer. But, he's a 20-year-old something kid. He's out there just doing like what we did when we were younger. We just partied hard, drank and whatever, Not so much whatever, but we drank. And, you got to be so
hopefully
distinct,
not too much whatever.
Distinct in your words nowadays because I find that people really cling on to your words. So the headline is like, so what's whatever?
Right?
What are you, what,
Along those lines, I have a question for you. What would you call this? Simple question.
Yeah, a thermos.
Okay. Damn it.
Oh, no.
Not only is it a thermos brand thermos, but yeah, that's what my wife called it last night when we were discussing something. I called it a mug.
Oh.
And then it was a misunderstanding, and
Wow.
She's like, "Wait, you're talking about not something with a lid that you take to work, Anyway, I was calling this a mug. She was calling it a thermos. So
Gotcha.
we were talking about the same thing, but a different thing. And
Right.
You're right, thermos.
Am I right?
I guess so.
Are you sure?
I'm gonna go with it.
because I call a mug the thing with the handle that you drink out of. What do you call that?
Mug.
You
I was
that
calling them
mug
both a mug.
also?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's on me. I was wrong.
Yeah.
When I first got here to Acme this afternoon, John, who's bartending today, I asked him. I said, "What do you call this?" He said thermos too.
Oh,
so.
okay.
You guys
Yeah.
are right. Thanks for ganging up on me.
The thing
you're
is,
you're on her team. Thanks
I thought
a
it was
lot.
a trick question because it slipped my mind when you brought the question up, and I'm like, oh man, what is it? So there was a little delay. I'm like, what huh? Like, yeah.
Thermos. You nailed it.
I'm great.
You nailed it.
Glad to hear that.
Congratulations. Right. Is there anything else we should be mentioning? When are you going to go see Star Wars or The Rise of Skywalker? Because it opens tonight.
Not my swag, and
So not this weekend, next weekend?
No, it's just not me, and everyone that's into it.
No, but when are you going to see it?
Yeah, I know.
I don't understand.
No, I don't know. Maybe a couple weeks. We'll go to the drive-in. Right.
Not your thing, huh?
No. It's never too late. Maybe one day I will watch and say, oh, crap. I like when you find out things way later. You know what I'm watching? I'm in season 5 right now of The Sopranos. It is my favorite.
Tell me, is that a good show? I've heard good things.
Yeah. So look, I've watched everything from The Wire. Well, actually, season 5 of The Wire right now too. Like I'm catching up on everything. But I mean, from Dexter to Breaking Bad to all the series that have got the rave reviews. you know, man, it's like, it's tough, but I like this one a lot. And
Yeah.
maybe it's recency bias. That's what they say, you
Okay.
know? But I'm really enjoying the relationship aspects. So when I get into create my own show, you know, I want to do things that I like, you know, and that's one of them, like very complicated, layered feelings about love and relationships.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I want it way in depth, you know, because that's the connection when people are like, wow, I thought that was just us.
Yeah.
And it's not so much on some like surface issue, like down. And I see that in great writing.
So I have to say, I don't want to blow the joke for you. I couldn't even probably quote it back anyway, word for word, and I would blow it.
You know, this is a comedian's favorite part when someone is like, something about that joke.
Yeah, this is a compliment. Here's how I think you should improve. No, we were on the way out of here yesterday, and I was asking my friends that we brought with the show. I was like, I'm like, give me some things that, you know, what are some things that stand out that you really liked? And the first thing my buddy Matt said was it was towards the beginning. It was just about a voice that you hear, and that it's actually
her voice.
Uh-huh.
Hey, that's interesting.
Uh-huh.
That's an interesting quote back.
Yep. So that was
Yeah.
the first thing.
And man, that feeling comes from, you know, me really processing it. You know, and I don't mind if I blow the joke, because like right now I'm prolific lately. Like all day I can just write and throw it, and it doesn't all stick, but a lot does, and then boom, okay, keep going with that. But I feel like these things we were taught like, tell the truth and everything's great. And it's not always the case.
Yeah.
But we've known that. We've known that it's not always the greatest move to tell the truth. And we're all different. And a lot of times it is the greatest move. So it's not like one way to go.
Right.
But so my take was just pretty much, when you're getting that thought that you should tell her, no, that's not you. That's coming. That's her. And that's what it is.
Yeah, that hit very close to home with my friend
Yeah.
Matt and Susie.
That
So
is- I love it.
congratulations
I love
on
it.
that.
I love it. Yeah.
Very close.
You know, I had a
Close.
buddy, man, who came, and he's like, man, your take, this is funny. He said, your take on whores was great. I'm like, thank you.
Huh.
That's all I can say. Thank you, man.
Has a woman come up and said that to you?
Now, that's what him and I discussed. You know, without getting into too much detail, no.
Yeah.
You know? And I, you know, in some shows, I note that it's not gender specific. It's just a people are people type of thing,
Yeah.
you know? And no one knows so much the, you know, concept of the joke. They just know the word. But yeah, it's fun, man. You can talk about anything if you know how to, you know, deliver it.
For sure.
And that's what comes with time.
For sure. I love when you're here, Mike. I love that you always seem to have something new going on, something to talk about.
Thank you.
Your career, just like I love following it, like you getting a better understanding of who you are. It's
Thank you.
wonderful. So I'm
Yeah.
already looking forward to next year.
Hey, thank
Maybe
you.
you'll be doing a podcast by then.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah, right. I need to stop making promises and just kind of live and just kind of go. Yeah.
But I promise everyone that's listening to this, watching this, come out. Try to grab some tickets while they're still available this weekend at Acme. Yeah. The hour is fantastic.
Thank you so much.
For real, my wife's face hurt. I was laughing the whole time. It was fantastic.
That means a lot, just because I know that I had to throw away everything that aired on the special.
Right.
And it was kind of a personal choice. Like, a lot of guys are like, if it's popular, then I'll throw it away. If it's not, you know, then I'll repeat. But I just kind of am moved to feel new and feel fresh.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, I got to, you know, create.
Even like the Stepman stuff you're doing. It's not
Yeah, it
the
was
same
all-
as the old
it was all
Stepman.
new.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I noticed.
Right.
I noticed. And then
Right.
on the way home, we were trying to quote some of your old, like the cake mix. And
Yeah.
you stole the bowl. We're like,
Yeah,
you didn't do
right.
that one. But then we were telling our friends about that joke. Just
Man, that's funny. It's
great
like,
stuff, man.
I was telling Brandon in the car, I was like, some of the greatest comedians of past, their first special dropped when they were like 18, 20 years in. So you just saw all of their classics accumulated.
Yeah.
So I was like, what if I was to drop my very first with everything that I had done in the past? It's like, man, I don't know if that's even possible now because the stuff's out. It's been seen. But it's almost like, man, that That would be something. If
For all the
comedians did
newer
that.
Mike E. Winfield fans, they may not have
Yeah.
gone back to that.
Wow. They see that. Yeah.
Something to think about.
I mean, everyone now is like, most are pushed to just throw out content.
Yeah.
That's undeveloped and not at its peak, and
Yeah.
yeah.
If we could all go back and become child YouTube stars, that would have been the real life path.
Yeah.
They're the millionaires. They're the new millionaires.
Yes, they are.
Our YouTube
Yes,
child
they are.
stars.
Right.
This has been great. Where should people follow you on social media and stuff?
Yeah, you know what? You can
Website?
still go to bigassteeth.com. It'll still forward, It all goes to MikeWinfield.com. And you know what? Go to Instagram. It's 2 E's in the middle. So it's MikeEEW. As soon as you pop that in,
Yep.
I'll come up. But it's Mike E. Winfield. Let me know that you listen to the show. That's always great to know. Because some people are like hitting me up from Australia, and then some are just, St. Paul. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You heard the show or you were here. So, that's important to know. And yeah, now you know me.
Yeah.
Now we know each other. We have relationships with these
And
people.
video.
Yeah, and video.
And video.
Right.
Yep. It's been great.
Hey, always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.